from sinus infections to stitches and sprains. Priority Care handles it all at primary care rates, much less than a typical urgent care visit. Priority Care is open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Find relief without breaking the bank. Learn more at chihealth.com/prioritycare.
Ready, set, Ford just announced 0% for 66 months with approved credit on all 2025 Ford F-150s at Zollner, Fort Beatrice. Save thousands in finance charges. If your current pickup loan's 4, 5, 6% or more, trade in today and receive 0% for up to 66 months on a brand new 2025 Ford F-150 of your choice at Zollner, Fort Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Dana Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Dana Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Hey guys, it's Carly from Boyd Farm Outfitters. Farmers, the Nebraska Ag Expo is coming up on December 9th through 11th at the Sandhills Global Event Center, and we'd love to see you there. Our team will be in two places at once, in the Boyd Farm Outfitters booth and the Green Eye Technology booth, which are both in the Currency building. In the meantime, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and X at BoydFO to see what we've been working on. Again, that's BOECKFO on social media. We look forward to seeing you at the Expo.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320. Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: a chance of snow this morning, then probably sunny skies this afternoon. We'll see a high around 24. Tonight, decreasing cloud cover and calm winds, below around 7. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with a light breeze, and afternoon high near 34. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All ticketing options for the 2026 Love Nebraska season are now available. Single match tickets start as low as $16, even cheaper if you want to bring a group. Don't miss your chance to see professional stars like Jordan Larson and Lexi Rodriguez in action this season. Purchase your preferred ticketing option today by visiting lovneb.com/tickets. Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, and family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetable, chips, and of course it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainert. Driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of BJ Bradford up the floor to Jack Hostrider. Watch out! Mafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good!
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, welcome to this magnificent Snowmageddon a little bit. The weather outside is frightful, Nick.
Yeah, I hate it. I mean, I really do. This sucks.
Yes, I want to give a big shout out to all of our folks that are on the roads this morning and all night as far as that goes, the snow removal, and to our first responders, law enforcement, all those. Because I know there's a lot of accidents. I've seen one on the way down here.
I almost watched one. This was before this next round of snow came. I almost watched one last night on my way. I was on my way to go pick up some groceries, and this was probably around 7 p.m. or so. And somebody thought, it was one of those where you're turning left on the light and you have to wait for traffic. Well, the light turned solid yellow, and they expected the people that were coming the opposite direction to be stopping, and they started to turn. The people coming the other way had to kind of like, they slammed on their brakes. Well, of course they slid, and I mean, we're talking just inches. barely missed each other, and so that was bad last night. I mean, the roads weren't great this morning, and so it took me about 15 to 20 minutes longer than usual to get here.
And you're coming from a ways away anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, we're probably same distance, just different parts of town. But it wasn't great. It wasn't great to get here this morning either.
No, and I want to say this though, Nick. This was, sometimes I just let it slide. But last night, I know the kids didn't have school today.
Yeah,
so that meant mischief.
100%.
So about 8:30 last night, someone did the ding door dash, banging on, almost broke my my door.
Oh no!
My storm went.
This has happened before to you.
I live right on the corner, and so it was loud, and it was just, and I knew right away. I'm just like, here we go.
Yeah.
So I go outside, and there's a group of about 5 or 6, and it's kids, 5 or 6. I said, fellas, don't do this. Then they stood there down the street a half a block, not even half a block, probably 6 houses down. Just laughing. I said, fellas, don't do this, man. And then they went and banged on my neighbors down the street who are elderly. I know there was an ambulance there not too many weeks ago, elderly couple. And so if you're in the Williamsburg, Southern Hills area, man, don't do that. Don't do it.
I hope they're listening this morning.
Because I felt really bad because the elder guy comes out and he's in his role. And his wife is, this dude is like 85 years old, man.
Yeah.
And has had some health issues. I'm just like, why? And I got a few neighbors that you definitely don't want to do it to their door. And I'm just like, fellas, don't do it. And then it's slippery as heck on the side. These guys are slipping. I'm like, there's a lot of other things to do.
Yeah.
Then the police came around the corner. So they must have been doing a few people's with the lights on, just, with their, just flash their lights back and forth, just with their big overhead light, just looking.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm glad to hear, because I'm cool. It is what it is. But I hate when they do that with elderly people, man.
I don't know if I'd want to mess with you guys though.
If it wasn't so slippery out, because the last time, what happened last year,
I
chased a few cats down.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm saying. This isn't the first time. You guys got a neighborhood issue.
It happens all the time. And, I was just like, it made me mad for my neighbors because they're elderly. And he, was probably shook him up. I'm like, what fun is that? And shaking some, you don't know if they got a sleeping kid, a sick person in there or whatever. So, temper that down. And that's why I start first responders, because the guy came by. He goes, I am so sick of this.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's just, he goes, I don't get it. And he goes, especially in this day and age, He goes, you don't know what they're going to come to the door with.
Sure. Yeah, 100%.
So
yeah.
I don't know. So
everybody's got those Ring doorbells too. Like, what? I don't know. At some point, they're going to get caught, right?
Yeah,
if they just keep on doing it.
I just don't get that, man. I don't get it. I did some dumb stuff as a kid, but going on somebody else's property was not one of them.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age. Nevertheless, shout out to our first responders, police force, thanks for roving around the neighborhood with your lights on, all that good stuff. And the folks that are clearing, take a little extra time this morning if you can, folks. It is not worth it. Leave earlier. I was telling someone I left Jim a lot earlier today because I knew it was going to take me a lot more time to get from basically 40th and Old Cheney over to here.
Yeah.
So take your time. We've seen a lot of things going on. Nick, how was your Thanksgiving, first of all?
It was great. I can't complain too much. Made it to the right spot. We talked about that on Wednesday. We made it to the right location, the right city in Nebraska. So that was great. And yeah, just hung out there, watched plenty of football. The Lions obviously lost though to the Packers at home, but then the Chiefs Cowboys game was really, really good. No, it was a good time. It was a really no complaints. Nothing really exciting happened, but sometimes that's the nice stuff until Friday came around.
It's we'll talk a lot of NFL tomorrow as the games round up tonight. It's going to be a great game tonight. The Giants 2-10 versus the Patriots, who are 10-2. But anything can happen. We'll talk about the pitiful Steelers tomorrow. Maybe not. I'm sick of talking about them already. But nevertheless,
AD. So I was making some meals last night for this week. I was meal prepping. Yeah, meal prepping last week, and I cut myself with a knife. Last night, and it went through. Ooh. It went through in between the thumb and the index finger, where there's nothing there. It's like, I don't know how you'd classify it. There's just a lot of just stuff, and like, I don't know if it's tissue. I don't know what it is.
You cut that pretty deep,
but
bro.
I mean, that thing came in and pop right through the entire skin. I'm surprised that it stopped bleeding right now. I did not realize how much I bend my fingers or anything, because every time I do, I mean, it hurts. It hurts bad, and it's swollen in that area. It was,
you don't got anything on there, bro.
Well, it was I wrapped it up the entire night last night. And I realized, all right, you know what? I need to probably let it get some air and stuff. So I put some Neosporin on it this morning. But my goodness, when I tell you that it hurts, something so little hurts
sensitive spot
so
too.
bad. Is I just grazed it on accident, because I don't necessarily feel it unless I'm doing something. I grazed it on the desk, and I about started crying.
You might want to put a wrap on that for today, as much as you're using.
Yeah, at some point I will be, but it stopped bleeding, so we're giving it some air. But once again, that just goes to show the littlest things are always the ones that hurt the most.
Absolutely.
My goodness.
Absolutely. Thomas and Lincoln, man, be safe out there delivering presents to people, man. I know you're delivery, man. Be safe out there.
Yeah.
Nick, you complain about weather too much when you work inside.
I hate the weather, man. I stand by it.
Yeah.
Nobody likes it. Just because I don't work outside doesn't mean I can't talk about what's going on. This is horrible.
It's bad. It's bad. Hey, Crowbait says, ding dong, whip your kids. On Mass Texter, I agree with you, AD. Let's beat the crap out of these dang kids. It's not sorry. I was hot last night. I was pissed, because it was like, find something more constructive to do, man. Go do something. Don't be messing with people's property. And in Hazelberry, yes, if they break my window, instead of you replace my window, you might be breaking me out of jail, because if you break my window, it's going to go to a whole nother level at that point. But nevertheless, man, there's a lot to discuss, Nick. We're not going to bury the lead. Of course, we know the Huskers absolutely get waylaid on Friday at home against Iowa. We're going to discuss that. We're going to coach the coaching carousel that's going on. There's still one that hasn't totally been confirmed yet, Nick, with down in Kentucky. Has it been solidly confirmed yet? There were whispers.
He's fired.
It's fully confirmed that Stoops is gone out of Kentucky.
Stoops is gone.
This, Nick, we literally all week long, we're going to have plenty of content to dig into, because there's so much to dig into. And of course, the biggest one, there were many others, but the Lane Kiffin exit. It was like watching and listening on X, like Young and the Restless.
Yeah.
With all of the ups and downs, and your favorite reporter, forget his name,
Marty
man.
Smith.
Marcus Smith.
Marty
Smith. And I love the way he talks. I love the beard. I got to dig in his book still. I got that one on deck. Was the one that got the interview with Coach Kiffin at the tarmac, basically at the airport. The fans sent them off with a joy, not necessarily a joyous goodbye.
No. No.
If you see anything on Twitter.
What was the best part about the whole entire thing with the airport was that nobody knew who was going with Lane. Nobody knew.
Yes,
right?
That's true.
And so it was just a matter of, all right, who gets out of the SUV, who gets on the plane. And man, once the first guy gets out because Charlie Weiss beat him there.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlie was like the first one to get out of the SUV and onto the plane. And all these guys that are watching beyond the fence are just like, that's Charlie. Hey, Charlie. And it's just, they didn't care who it was. They just needed to know whose name to yell. They took care of the rest of the expletives. They just needed to know whose name to yell. And then everything was fine.
There's a lot to unpack, Nick, and we definitely want to unpack it just today. We're going to discuss it right now, and we'll discuss it at 9:30 as well. 10 o'clock, we'll dive into Nebraska, Iowa. Let us know on the text line, 402-464-5685. Where does Nebraska go from here? What are your thoughts? What are your concerns? Were there bright spots? Obviously, I'm going to say this. Was there progress in year 3? I'm going to say this. Yes, but minuscule. Each year, you won one more game and you lost one less. So
Not yet.
So literally, you won one more game.
Not yet.
And regular season.
Okay, yeah,
so
yeah,
far.
Sure.
And you lost one less. So I'm not going to ignore that. Is it in better shape now than it was 3 years ago? Absolutely. But it was, in my opinion, and this is, I got to be objective. I can't be subjective about this with my past and everything else. No, I got to be objective. If I was just looking at this from an outsider and looked at the schedule that was gettable, that was totally gettable, this was underwhelming, in my opinion. A lot of missed opportunities this season, man.
Yeah.
A lot. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's my humble opinion. Looking at it objectively, I mean, I can't let my heart get involved at looking what's strictly on paper. When you look what's strictly on paper, take your emotions out of it. This was an underwhelming season at 7-5, in my opinion.
Sure was. And I would say this. We'll dive into it at 10 o'clock, so we can dive into Lane here. I just think with the now moving back to Lane, AD.
There's so much, Nick.
I was glued to my phone the last Saturday night and Sunday because it felt like a soap opera, like a drama movie just playing out right before our very own eyes.
Yeah.
And I thought for a moment that there was a glisten of hope for the folks out in Oxford. Hope that he would stick around, but he did not. And ultimately, Lane's off to LSU, where I do think he'll have success. I thought the craziest thing, though, that I saw last night, imagine being the head coach. You're 2 days before signing day. 2 days, Wednesday's signing day. You get to the facility for the first time, and who's there to greet you? The president, the athletic director, obviously a couple of the staff members from LSU, Blake Baker, their defense coordinator, Frank Wilson, the interim head coach. Charlie Weiss comes with you, your offensive coordinator. And who else? How about the nation's #1 recruit? Lamar Brown was told by LSU to be at the facility so he could meet Lane Kiffin. And that's one of the first people in the list of the list of names that I just rattled off. President, chancellor, athletic director. I'm sure the governor was close by, knowing Jeff Landry. And then obviously your group that you bring. In the middle of all of that, guess who's one of the first people to meet Lane in his new office in Baton Rouge late Sunday night? The #1 recruit in high school football. That if that doesn't tell you where college football's at nowadays, that nothing will. Because it to me is so crazy how in one of the first meetings he takes, it's not with boosters, it's not with the athletic director. Sure, there's been meetings and conversations. But one of the first sit-down meetings that Lane Kiffin has is with a 17 or 18-year-old kid. That's where we're at now. All the leverage is in the hands of the players.
Saying that is still just mind-boggling to me. And listening to Sip, Jake, and Coach Bush this morning, and just reading everything on X and where we're at in collegiate sports. And I was talking to a good friend of mine up in South Dakota, and he's at the point, very successful, and he just says, I'm at the point, AD, that I just want to watch volleyball anymore. He goes, I'm just sick of, he goes, and they're very, very well-to-do, and I mean extremely well-to-do. He goes, I'm just tired of the greed. I'm tired of the mess. And I get all standpoints of it, you know?
Yeah.
Here's what Lane Kiffin had to say as far as his departure letter. After a lot of prayer and time spent with family, I made the difficult decision to accept the head coaching position at LSU. I was hoping to complete a historic 6-season run with this year's team by leading Ole Miss through playoffs, capitalizing on the team's incredible success and their commitment to finish strong and investing everything into the playoff run with guardrails in place to protect the program in any areas of my concern. Nick, I want you to comment on this next part here in a second. My request to do so was denied by Keith Carter, despite the team also asking him to allow me to keep coaching them so they could better maintain their high-level performance. Unfortunately, that means Friday's Egg Bowl was my last game coaching the Rebels. While I'm looking forward to a new start with a unique opportunity at LSU, I will forever cherish the incredible 6 years I spent at Ole Miss and will be rooting hard for the team to complete their mission and bring a championship to Oxford. Lane Kiffin. I was denied by Keith Carter despite the team also asking him to allow me to keep coaching. Nick, comments.
I have such a tough time believing that the team asked that. I'm going to be honest. I have a tough time believing that. And number one, I will say this. There is no way on God's green earth that Ole Miss can allow him to coach. There's no way. There's just not a chance. In this day and age of tampering, in this day and age of the transfer portal and NIL and money being a factor, it was also announced that Lane was not part of the meeting, the exit meeting, right? Mm-hmm. Rightfully so. Mm-hmm. Like, we're in this day and age that as soon as those conversations start to happen, and essentially not start to happen, but are solidified and a contract is agreed upon, these guys should not be allowed in the facility. They just shouldn't be. And I know that seems harsh, but any opportunity to talk face-to-face with somebody that is valuable to your program, that's protecting what's inside your walls.
Same conference.
That's what I'm saying. This is you want Lane to have another conversation with Trinidad Chambliss, the starting quarterback?
Lacey?
Why? How about Kwan Lacey, one of the nation's best running backs? You want him to even have any sort of a conversation? No, because in the end, Keith Carter, the athletic director for Ole Miss, has to protect what's inside those walls. He has to protect his house. And with that is, as much as you might trust, respect, love Lane Kiffin, if you're Keith Carter, you're probably pissed off at him in the moment because he's leaving you for a rival. But you cannot let him in the facility again.
What about Tulane's coach? Because I think he's going to keep coaching.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit different when it's not the SEC.
Yeah.
I think it's now granted, he's going to an SEC school.
John Sumrall's going to Florida from Tulane.
And he's going to continue coaching. And it would also be different, I think personally, if it was a coordinator. We're talking about one of the, if you want to know how much pull and how much just attention Lane Kiffin gets, look at the last 48 hours. Look at the last week and a half of news cycle in college football. He is dominating the college football news cycle right now. And he has been for the last week. I don't care. I mean, put your personal feelings for him aside. Put all the other stuff that he's maybe done off the field, what he's done at other stops, how he's treated people at other stops. Put all that off the field. From strictly a college football standpoint, this guy on his players is one of the most influential mentors and figures that we currently have in the game. And we just saw it across all of the social media channels, all of the buzz, everything that was going on the last 48 hours. You cannot allow him back in. You can't.
Nick, Keith Carter, I listened to the sound bite of him talking to the team.
Yeah.
And he brings in defensive coordinator. What's the gentleman's name?
Pete Golden.
I almost said Goldsmith. Pete Golden. Pete Golden. All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, right.
He said right about 85 times.
I know.
But that's
I know.
That coach speak. Right. I thought it was, as you would say, I thought it was fascinating in that the past 6 years, okay, Lane Kiffin's record was 55-19.
Yeah.
They've lost 19 games in 6 years. And how this historic run they're on right now. And on X, I was just kind of watching the players' body language, etc. And Keith Carter telling Lane, I do believe this part where he says, you never know what to believe, but this part I do believe. He goes, I have to live here.
Yeah.
This is my home.
Which isn't that crazy to think about?
It really is. I just thought that was very point. I thought it was a very point, Mark, and I thought it was necessary because, like he said, coaches come and go. Athletic directors do as well. But Carter KC said, "Look, man, I have to live here. I have to look at these people every day. You're jet setting all over the place, which it is what it is. I have to live here. I have to answer questions once you're long gone. These people are our fans, our students." I go to business. I live in their neighborhood. We go to church together.
I have to take their money. I have to raise their money. Like that's the other part of it is I have to raise their money.
Nick, if I'm Keith Carter, I'm with you. There's no way that you can stay.
No.
Listen, it's the way of the business right now. It is what it is.
100%.
I cannot, to your point, Nick, I can't have you around my guys for another 30, 45 days, if not longer.
Right before the portal opens.
Right before the portal opens on January 2nd.
Yeah.
Playoff run or not. To me, it's this. Now, I get both sides. So people are saying, well, he earned that. No. Once you made a decision to leave, all that's done.
And there's people, I mean, so Gary on our Facebook stream goes, Kiffin can call them anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. Well, here's the thing. Legally, he won't be able to call them until January 2nd. So Ole Miss is looking at this and going, all right, I'm giving Pete Golden and the staff that's here a chance to basically persuade, focus, work on just building that relationship with each guy. So that way, when January 2nd does come around and the portal does open up, we don't have to necessarily worry so much about it because there was at least a month to hopefully cultivate and grow on the relationships of the guys that are there, the players, and the staff that stuck around. Now, is there tampering? 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
And nobody is unique into where, everybody else is doing it, but I'm not. No, everybody is taking part in it. And so I just think, this is a massive move. I mean, this is a massive move in college football. LSU, they hit the jackpot, in my opinion. This is the one coach that, I should say this, second, one of two coaches that in this cycle was really what you expect to be a positive answer. We don't know what Summerall is going to do. We don't know what Golesh at Auburn, how that's going to play out. Auburn's not thrilled with that one. Ryan Silverfield in Arkansas, there was protests going on outside of Razorback Stadium yesterday in Fayetteville because they didn't like the Ryan Silverfield hire.
It wasn't coaches were knocking down the door with an exception of Franklin, who had some things that they were going to get. I mean, it's kind of like, you better take what you can get at this point if you're Arkansas.
You want to know the one place, and we'll have to go to break and talk about it when we come back. The one place that I think it was as dirty as you can, but you hit the jackpot on your hire. Where do you think, AD? It went under the radar because it was open and shut.
I think Michigan State.
Bingo.
I think Michigan State. I think they're going to be a monster.
Pat Fitzgerald.
Can you imagine Patty with that type of resources at Michigan State?
Well, my thing is,
and without the entry barrier as far as the entry level, as far as people getting in academically,
I'm sitting here thinking about with Pat Fitzgerald, that I'm going, this guy, it was kind of evil. Because Jonathan Smith wasn't fired until yesterday. Now, maybe he knew it was coming. But Pat Fitzgerald, that job was closed within 45 minutes, within an hour. These were conversations that Michigan State was having with Fitzgerald before they even fired Jonathan Smith.
This conversation has been going on for a couple weeks, if not a few months.
That feels so dirty.
It is.
And it is.
Nick, you know what, though, Nick? Here's what I'm going to say. To that point right there, that's why you can't fault coaches necessarily for leaving either, because they get done to them as well.
Yeah.
You can't fault the players for leaving because coaches do it. This is the new landscape. It's ugly. It's grimy, but it's just the way it is, man. Smith probably hasn't packed all of his clothes yet.
No. I like Jonathan Smith too.
I do too, man. And so it's just, we're going to talk about when we come back. It's the Tribe. It's the Monday. Be careful.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today. All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320. For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Join Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, for upcoming Parts and Service Expo events. Get 12% off parts the day of your local event. Can't make it? You can still save 10% on parts and 20% off planter parts December 1st through the 12th. It's the best time of the year to stock up on oil and filters. Grab John Deere gifts for under the tree and schedule your service inspections. Don't miss out. These deals only come around once a year at Landmark Implement. Find your nearest expo at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Staying profitable means finding smarter, more efficient ways to farm. Those decisions turn hard work into something worth passing down. Join us at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln for the Nebraska Ag Expo on December 9th through 11th, where agriculture meets innovation. From big iron and livestock production to the latest in ag tech and soil health, discover the solutions that can help you do more with less and protect your legacy for generations to come. Sponsored in part by Farm Credit Services of America and Ag Direct.
Are you tired of your usual barbershop experience? Stop into Scissors and Scotch today. I know what you're thinking. Drink during a haircut? Don't worry. First comes the precision cut from one of their experienced barbers, followed by your complimentary cocktail in their upscale lounge. Scissors and Scotch blends your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. And now you can earn $10 off by simply mentioning the ticket. And if you're an existing member, still mention the ticket for an exclusive offer. Offer valid at Lincoln location only. Scissors and Scotch, located just south of 30th and Yankee Hill, and online at lincoln.scissorscotch.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Hey guys, Nick Stainert here. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday, December 5th for a special edition of Old School from 3 to 6 p.m. at Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill. We're raising awareness and funds for the Nebraska Greats Foundation, and we'll have many former Husker greats in attendance to promote as well. That's Old School this Friday at Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill at 27th and Jamie Lane, sponsored by Alpha Wealth Advisors.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer, sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, welcome back on this magical Monday. It is a winter wonderland out there. Still snowing. It's still coming down as far as that goes. Nick, I was already looking at my travel for later this week because Chicago had over, I think they said 1,000 flights canceled.
Whoa.
Over the past 2 days there. And I fly to St. Louis on Wednesday, but I fly out of Lincoln. I go through Chicago. So I'm keeping my eye on that pretty closely. Kind of the forecast we got here, it says it's supposed to stop snowing and keep snowing actually until about 11 o'clock this morning. And then the rest of the week, sunny, but highs are only the mid-30s as far as that goes. So, again, be careful out there, folks, if you're out and about. Again, big shout-out to our first responders and road clearance crews. Be safe. Give them the courtesy. They're doing the best they can. So be safe out there. If you're delivering, working outside, stay warm and all that good stuff. This segment is brought to you by Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services. Jack has been a well-respected rep since 1999. Can help protect your home, your family, your vehicle, even your future. So give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100 or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or in Seward and learn how Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services can help you. Folks, unless you've been living under a rock, you know there was a lot of coaches being fired, hired, etc. As Nick mentioned, the biggest one, I think the school that got the outside of Lane Kiffin, if you will, but the one who really hit a home run, in my opinion, is Pat Fitzgerald. As me and Swim agreed to, obviously the former coach of Northwestern was cleared of any wrongdoing, of knowing some of the things that was going on there. I'm sure all of you know what was going on at Northwestern. In case you don't, look it up. A lot of crude, inappropriate things that were going on there as far as hazing in the locker room, etc. He was cleared and also awarded close to $100 million. Financially, he definitely didn't need the job whatsoever. Generational wealth to clear his name. But I tell you what, Michigan State's athletic director, who was formerly of Georgia Tech, who has a knack for fundraising. Nick, I think Michigan State, we'll talk about this a little bit before we hop back into. Good morning. Not sure who that is. Text who it
David.
Is. Oh, that's DF.
Look at David. He feels disrespected.
I couldn't tell, DF. I don't got my glasses on,
David,
buddy.
I knew it was you right away, my friend.
Meanwhile, all I see is something blue.
Yeah.
I can't see.
Gosh, dang. Look at him.
Be careful out there, DF. Be careful, brother. I think it's scary to me, Nick, to what Pat Fitzgerald can do with the resources at Lansing, up at Michigan State, with money. They've got money. They got big boosters and with a fire in his belly.
Yeah, I think Pat Fitzgerald's probably out to set, some things straight. I don't know how instantaneous it's going to be.
I would agree.
I think that it feels like, Pat Fitzgerald's the type of coach where it's, hey, let's really take our time with this thing and hopefully you do it right. I also don't know, is this his landing spot for the next 10 years? I don't know if it is. I think that there's a different view of Pat Fitzgerald now than there maybe was even when he was at Northwestern as to if Wisconsin goes in a different direction next year or in 2 years. Does Pat Fitzgerald up and leave a place like Michigan State? Now, let's not get it twisted. Michigan State's a good job and probably a better job than Northwestern, but they're still little brother in the state. They're still little brother. And in this day and age of the Big Ten Conference, it's more so I think you have to decide whether or not you feel like you can win at a high enough level. Sure, for Michigan State, I think he can. But winning at a high enough level for Michigan State is different than winning at a high enough level for national conversation. And does he feel like he can do that at Michigan State more than other middle-of-the-road programs? The Minnesotas of the world, the Wisconsins, the Penn States Like, that's where I'm surprised we did not see Pat Fitzgerald end up, in all honesty, was out east, because I don't know what Penn State's going to do for a head coach.
Penn State's in a lot of has some issues right now. They're going to have a hard time filling. I mean, like you mentioned, a lot of the big names, and him, I think, being the last big name that was that was available. And maybe they did have talks, Nick. We have no idea if they had talks or not. I'm sure something would have got out, but if he doesn't fit the bill with who's remaining in the poll, I don't know who does.
No, I mean the one would be Coach Chesney at James Madison is one with Penn State, but once again, like what are you waiting on? And I just don't know. Penn State was one of the first jobs to open way back in the early stages of the season. They were one of the first jobs to open.
I think the only one that was before them was UCLA with Foster.
Yeah, UCLA, Virginia Tech was also in that time frame as well. I just, it's like at what point, what are you waiting on here? Unless signing days in 2 days. And Terry Smith is the interim head coach, and they're going to play in a bowl game. And maybe that's part of the conversation is, look, Terry got us to a bowl game. Maybe we need to reward him with the job. And if that's the case, then great. But it feels a lot like obviously the off the field stuff, but it feels a lot like a Mickey Joseph situation up there where the players love Terry Smith. The players here loved Mickey, and just the powers that be necessarily didn't think it was splashy enough. And that's fine. But you got to have an answer for it. You got to find somewhere. And that's why I just don't know what Penn State's going to do. Who knows what doors are open, because you've allowed a lot of empty weekends to just pass on by. And throughout all of this, Golesh, Sumrall, Fitzgerald, Silverfield, Lane, even in there, you fire James Franklin to start. Are you waiting for the NFL season to end? Well, that doesn't do you any good, because the NFL season is going to go through January when the portal is going on. So it's like, what are you waiting on here? And nobody, there's no rumblings.
Yeah, that's Nick. That of all the openings that remained, obviously with the exception of ones down, and obviously LSU, Florida, and Ole Miss, we knew who was going to be the coach for one of those three was going to be Lane. But for Penn State, as prestigious as Penn State is and perceives themselves to be, as far as that goes as well, I have no idea what's going on up there.
And maybe this is their way of finding out the hard way that they aren't as prestigious as they think they are.
That's a great point.
And maybe they thought that they could swing a little bit bigger of a stick. They've gotten a lot of guys extensions. They have, whether it's Rule, Drinkwitz, Signetti. They've gotten.
He was going to get his most likely regardless.
Elko.
Yep.
Elko. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have inked some larger deals now because of just Penn State being open, and so they've been very helpful. I don't know what they're going to do though for their spot, and if anything that they do now, it feels like it's going to be underwhelming.
JP's a good point here. He goes, what about the DeBoer talk to Penn State? I would be nothing. JP would surprise me anymore. I would be more surprised. I would be more shocked than surprised on that if DeBoer was to head out of.
I think he'd be so stupid.
Yeah, I think going up to that situation would be crazy. Although he's fended off some of the heat with their performance. Obviously, winning that Iron Bowl was big. If he loses that, I think there's some. I'm not saying he leaves or gets fired, but I think he's really going to.
He's in the SEC championship game.
Yeah,
that's. I think we forget how good Alabama still is, and how fine DeBoer has been. Like, there's been a lot of heat. It's a lot of the same conversation as Ryan Day, where it's like, okay, we're not winning enough. Well, I'm winning more than 95% of the country. Well, that's still not enough. Well, that's what it kind of is. They're 10-2. They're going to the SEC championship game. Like, that's the crowning achievement opportunity,
and that's the standard there.
Yeah. So like, just because it's not Nick Saban, it's just, it's wild. But I think DeBoer's just fine at Alabama. I think he'd be stupid. I asked myself then, like, what is the only other job that DeBoer would leave for? If that's Penn State, man, you've spent so much time these last couple of years. You left a team that you went to the national championship with to go to this job. And now Alabama, just from namesake and notoriety, almost have a shoe into the playoff almost yearly. And you want to leave that for Penn State, who has significantly underachieved. You don't know about their leadership now because
of how this hiring process has gone. I mean, this is indicative of a lot of things. Like, as bad as LSU was, they even were able to put on a little bit of a brave face and make something happen.
Nick, when you look at this before we go to break, let's talk a little bit more about Lane Kiffin. You know, how will Ole Miss fans view him? I mean, here's two truths. I want to get your opinion on
Hey, that game in Oxford next year.
He's going to need security.
Somebody said it's the equivalent of Nick Saban returning to LSU, because Nick Saban with Alabama, the year after he left Baton Rouge, he returned to Baton Rouge with Alabama, and that there was like 12 security guards around him. And that's exactly what's going to need to happen.
He's going to need a ton of security.
Because also Lane talks way more than Nick Saban ever did.
Absolutely. So here's two truths. He delivered the greatest run Ole Miss has seen in decades. The only national championship that Ole Miss has seen was 1961, under modern day era, if you would. He left at the worst possible moment. There's many there that feel betrayed, especially because he publicly touted growth and loyalty all off season. It echoes the infamous one-year exit at Tennessee. But I think this one stings more because he stayed 6 seasons and he built something elite there. And that's hard to deny, Nick. He built something very elite there. But let me ask you this, Nick, he's a winner, but he's a wanderer as well. But he's not the first. I mean, Saban did it. You know, there's others who did the same thing at other programs. Is he chasing championships, or is Kiffin chasing Kiffin?
Oh, I think he's fine. I honestly think he's chasing championships. I don't know if, when you're already an SEC coach, I think everybody in the SEC feels like they are the same. Their job is on the same level as LSU or Bama or one of those, right? Realistically, though, we have to look at it and say, okay, there are tiers to SEC jobs. Like, macro picture, yeah, Big Ten and SEC jobs are the best you can get, but they're not all equal. They are not all equal, i.e. Arkansas. Like, Arkansas is not on the same playing field as Ole Miss, and Ole Miss isn't on the same playing field as LSU. And that's just the way it is.
The way it is.
I think he genuinely is chasing championships. I also think that one of his biggest mentors in Coach Saban, who had a very similar road here, this is his version of Saban. Now he's not going to go down on the same conversation as Saban in terms of as many championships and everything there. However, this is Kiffin's moment of Ole Miss to LSU is Saban, LSU to Bama.
Yeah.
That's what this is. Yeah. And I think I would imagine that Lane is probably hoping that the similar results follow, right? Mm-hmm. To where you do win 1, 2, maybe 3 national titles in the next 7-8 years. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of malpractice that's gone down in Baton Rouge the last couple of years under Brian Kelly. And I'm sure Lane is probably looking at it going, all right, there's new leadership with an athletic director, right? There is a lot of untapped potential in Baton Rouge, and also in a landscape of college football to where it all does boil down to money and money offered to these players, and the resources that LSU has probably doesn't compare to Ole Miss. However, Ole Miss is still a very good job, and I'm surprised that they hired internally. But I think that just goes once again to show how poor the college coaching carousel was this year.
It's like in that movie I told you about, Walking Tall. Mm-hmm. Another thing about LSU, they got a lot of money.
Yeah. but once again, like I was very underwhelmed by the Pete Golding decision with Ole Miss. I was like, I would look at that as if you're like a Drinkwitz, or if you were somebody like that, why wouldn't Ole Miss? You talk about yourself being like, good enough where Lane would want to stay. Why don't you show us that you're big enough and you're bad enough to sway somebody else your way?
You know what, Nick? Here's my question to that. How are we positive he didn't try?
Well, because it was, immediate.
It might have been immediate announced, but I'm simply saying
genuinely
this conversation has been going a couple weeks. Let me be careful what I say.
Because I don't know if Ole Miss truly thought that Lane would leave.
Right.
I think that they were pretty confident in their ability to keep him to stay.
I'd be curious if he didn't put the fishing pole in a few ponds, though.
Sure, maybe. I think that
just to gauge interest. Any good AD is going to say, you know what, this could potentially happen. I'm
Sure.
gonna check with some agents just to see.
I think, and maybe that's what happened, and the results were underwhelming. I just, and you say, everybody can pitch the why Pete Golding. Well, he's a leader. He's got, provides continuity with the staff, provides continuity with our football program. It's no one person is bigger than this thing, and tomorrow a lot of the same guys, same face are going to walk through the door and lead this team, and that's 100% accurate, and it's 100% facts. But once again, I think it more so goes to show just how few good options there were in the coaching carousel this year. And AD, it's something that you and I talked about multiple weeks ago, to where there's a lot of really good jobs open and not a lot of good coaches to fill them. And there's going to be a lot of things that feel underwhelming. Because I think in most years, the Golesh hire to Auburn would probably feel underwhelming. The Summerall hire to Florida, they were talking about being in the Lane Kiffin sweepstakes. That felt underwhelming. I just think that ultimately there was a lot of really good jobs and not a lot of really good coaches to fill them. And the only one that doesn't feel underwhelming is the one we're talking about.
Nick, I think Florida fans were, thinking Disneyland with Kiffin. And then you hire Summerall. Oh, we're going to Adventureland in Des Moines.
Right.
But coaches like Summerall, obviously his track record proved itself at Tulane. Who knows what's going to happen? But to your point, I think it was definitely underwhelming. But Nick, I just wonder who in the heck these other schools are going to get, man. Folks,
Penn State's insane right now.
Yeah, I'm just mind-boggling with that one. And someone on the text line mentioned that as well as Nebraska kind of being the case study for botched hires. When you look at things under Steve Peterson. Mexi Fry, good morning to you. He goes, I-80 westbound is moving normal just outside York. That does look really good, Mexi Fry. Be careful traveling out there, brother. Looks nice and neat out there. Unknown texter 6260. Kiffin is like the Larry Brown of college football. He seemed to be moving constantly. Larry Brown, Nick, was an old school basketball coach many years in the NBA.
Yep.
It's almost like he had a new job every 2 years or 3 years, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. We got a lot to discuss this all week long because we'll dive into each one of the schools, who they got, why they got them, pros and cons, etc. History when we come back, top of the hour. Nebraska's game Friday on Black Friday. It's The Drive. We'll be back.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Make plans to be at the Icebox on Saturday, December 13th for Teddy Bear Toss Night as the Stars host the Dubuque Fighting Saints. Bring a teddy bear or stuffed animal from home or purchase one at the game. When the Stars score their first goal of the game, it's time to throw the bears and stuffed animals onto the ice, with all being donated to the Community Action Partnership of Lancaster and Saunders counties to help local children in need during the holidays. That's the Teddy Bear Toss on Saturday, December 13th with the Lincoln Stars.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Schwezo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schwezo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com. Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
At Riddles Jewelry, we know there are moments in life when you realize this is what it's all about. And you wish you could hold on to that feeling forever. This is why we've made jewelry our passion for 65 years. This holiday season, find the perfect gift with savings up to 50%. Riddles Jewelry, family owned since 1959.
Located in Lincoln at the Gateway Mall.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance? That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer. Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, we are back. Quick history segment. Snow is still falling gently here at 1040 O Street. If you're out and about today, I know LPS is out of school. Teachers planning day, so it was already something that was planned.
Oh,
today.
nice.
Yeah, so they are out of school today. Be careful.
So it wasn't a snow day?
No.
Okay.
No. Planned day.
Nice.
Folks, in Husker history, I think this is awfully interesting. In 1975, Nebraska sells out its Fiesta Bowl ticket allotment. Even though the non-major bowl berth was a disappointment, it involves Christmas away from home.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Coach Osborne, this is 1975, folks, sees value in a playoff system. Whoa. 50 years ago. This was a little excerpt from the article. Big colleges may be forced to participate in a playoff system to decide the national championship if the major bowls don't do a better job of selecting teams, Nebraska coach Tom Osborne says. Coach was in Kansas City Monday for the Big 8 coaches meeting, was disappointed because 6th-ranked Nebraska failed to receive a major bowl bid. The Huskers were 10-1. My, how times have changed. And tied with Oklahoma for the conference championship, Nebraska would play the Western Athletic Conference champion Arizona State in the Fiesta Bowl. In the past, I've personally been opposed to any sort of playoff, said Osborne, whose team would have gone to the Orange Bowl had it beaten Oklahoma. But if the Bulls don't do a better job, dadgummit, they may force it in the playoffs. And here we are 50 years later, Nick, still kicking around.
Can we get some more playoffs,
Still
please?
kicking around the old playoffs.
That's funny.
Playoffs?
How about this one? On this day in 1653.
Good God.
A long time ago.
Talk about history. What are you talking about, the history of Earth?
An athlete from Croydon
is reported to have run 20 miles from St. Albans to London in less than 90 minutes.
How do they know?
I don't know. It got reported. An athlete from Croydon is reported to have run 20 miles from St. Albans to London in less than 90 minutes. That'd be pretty incredible.
Hey, dog. At first, I thought you said 1953. You
No,
said
1653. Yeah. What else was going on in 1653? What was happening in 1653?
Oh, man. So that one got me, bro.
Oliver Cromwell became the Lord Protector of England. Cromwell takes power. Instrument of government. Written constitution that made Cromwell. The Anglo-Dutch War was going on in 1653.
Oh, God.
That's incredible.
My man said 1653.
That's what it says. That's what it says on the website. That's what it says on the website. 1653.
Hey,
A
when
dude
Swim
from
talks
Croydon.
about history, he's talking about
Yeah.
history.
And tomorrow we find out what was going on in 1770. No, 1653. Just 100 and
love
what would
it.
that be? 123 years before the Constitution.
Oh, my gosh. Love the picture. Unknown texture 4746, Highway 77, south of Cortland. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That one lane, at least. Be careful out there. Unknown
Say
texture.
one lane?
One lane? Yeah, like Swim.
O Street looks slushy.
Yeah, a little slushy.
They gotta get some blades out there and
Little
clean
slushy.
that up.
Folks, when we come back, we're going to dive into the game on Friday. Of course, the Husker game was definitely one that left us wanting more of a better result. 40-16 was the final. And Nick, I think the final drive, the way it ended with the fumble in the end zone, was just like that was just a snapshot of that entire game. The past 2 weeks, as far as that goes, is what took place there. We got DP on O Street right now in the all red, heading on in. Folks, we're heading on out for a quick commercial break. We'll be back to discuss the Huskers. It's the drive.
Staying profitable means finding smarter, more efficient ways to farm. Those decisions turn hard work into something worth passing down. Join us at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln for the Nebraska Ag Expo on December 9th through 11th, where agriculture meets innovation. From big iron and livestock production to the latest in ag tech and soil health, discover the solutions that can help you do more with less and protect your legacy for generations to come. Sponsored in part by Farm Credit Services of America and Ag Direct.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. The holidays are here, and Fairway has everything you need for charcuterie boards, shrimp trays, party platters, wine, beer, spirits, and so much more. Plus, custom fresh cuts on USDA choice or prime grade beef, all natural pork, fresh chicken, and seafood. Your holiday meals start at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
If you are a business owner, I want you to think about the amount of time you've spent worrying about safety and security. Lincoln's own experts at Diode Technologies design custom solutions for security, communication, and so much more. From automated security to secure video conferencing, their team sits down with you to get to know you and what your business needs. Manage your operations and get notified when there is suspicious activity. Save time and cut back on stress. Diode Tech always keeps you in the know. Contact them today at 402-793-5124.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at Schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainert, driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of B.J. Bradford up the floor to Jack Hostrider. Watch out! Mafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good!
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, we are back. It's The Drive. It's Monday, snowy Monday. Nebraska 16, Iowa 40. And that was a game, Nick, to where here was a scary thing for me. I'm just going to be completely transparent here. I wasn't even as mad as I normally am.
Oh, that's not a good thing.
I'm just being real, man. I love my squad. I'm always going to bleed red. But I just, when you look at, again, I'm going back to this objectivity thing. Nebraska, the gap was shown to be, the gap was very apparent in the past 2 weeks.
I
Just
agree.
the bottom line. I mean, you got manhandled in Happy Valley. You got manhandled at home. It was nothing exotic that Penn State did or Iowa did. And even Penn State without their head coach, they still have an identity. They still know who they are. Iowa, of course, and I mentioned this with Kirk Ferentz. I mean, I do not like Iowa, but I respect the heck out of Iowa. Iowa knows who they are.
Yeah.
They know who they aren't. They have a system. They have a culture. And they don't get flustered. And like I said, they hang around. And this game was a different one in that usually they hang around for 3 quarters. No, they just beat the smoke out of us for 4 quarters is all that was. The second through the fourth in particular, they won the middle. They dominated the middle 8, the last 4 minutes of the second, the first 4 minutes of the third. And they continue to do so, even on the play with Harburg, which I had no idea why the heck, no disrespect against Harburg, love the kid. But you just had your running back go for over 200 yards, and then you hand the ball off in the goal line to someone else who had been in for 3 plays at the position. That was just an example of many things that made me scratch my head on Friday. It just shows you the gap is apparent, and Nebraska's got a long way to go. That's just a reality, in my opinion.
I think it's even for me, it's less of what we saw the last 2 weeks. I mean, that's a massive part of it because.
But I mean, that was an overall snapshot that showed you.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that essentially, like the last 2 weeks were really, really disappointing. And yeah, but like, I more so struggle with coming to terms with when I watch other big name and big teams play. And that's where I go, man, Nebraska's got a little bit of a ways to go.
You mean like
Just
watching other games this weekend too?
If I was watching like on Saturday and watching Michigan, Ohio State.
Yes.
And like that's the one that it really stood out to me. And then a little bit of the Auburn, Alabama game. Like Auburn was back there with a quarterback that could not throw the football. All he could do was run. And they were down 17-0. Auburn was. They had one of their best defensive players, their starting safety, get ejected for targeting. And the dude comes in, and Alabama, like any good team should, goes right after the backup safety that came into the game. And the backup safety stood up and made 3 plays in a row in the end zone to force Alabama to a field goal attempt. And like in those moments is when I truly like ask myself, is Nebraska in a spot to where if Deshaun Singleton would have gone out this year, or in an area where Nebraska was down 17-0 to a team similar to Alabama, would they have been able to bounce back? And I continuously feel like the answer is no. And that is one of the most deflating feelings I think any fan of any team can actually have.
Nick, you're exactly right. Bijo, you put on their apathy. And Bijo, it's like stubbing your toe and it hurts really bad, but you just don't even make any noise because it hurts so bad.
Yeah. Like you're trying to scream, but you can't.
You can't.
It's a silent scream.
I think that's me right now in Nebraska football.
Sure.
It's so infuriating, but no noise is even coming out anymore. I'm just.
People got mad at me on Saturday's post-game show. Not in the moment, but the ticket posted a clip. We posted a clip on our social media pages. And Jay and I prefaced everything that we said on Saturday or Friday. I'm going to say that 15,000 times on Friday. We prefaced all of our conversations with the piece of we're not calling for jobs. Like you and I, AD, Jay's in this as well. Like we have no right to sit behind a microphone and be like, this guy should be fired. This guy should keep his job. We have no right to really call for jobs, honestly. However, we can talk about the facts. And if the facts force and allow people then to formulate an opinion to where they should move on, then great, so be it. All I said on Friday was that unfortunately we're in a spot to where Nebraska's head coach and Nebraska as a program, because it's Matt Rule at the top, is unfortunately you're 2-10 in November. You're 2-10 ahead of the most important month of the year. And by no means am I calling for Matt Rule's job. By no means am I calling for coordinators' jobs. But if you sit there on Friday and you say, yeah, you know what, Nebraska, all right, yeah, maybe in totality they had 7 wins, and that's one more in the regular season than last year, so that's just progress. It was so much deeper for me on Saturday than just Nebraska. Oh, Nebraska was just Dylan Raiola away from winning that game. Nebraska didn't lose that game on Friday because Dylan Raiola wasn't playing. I hate to break it to you. That is not the reason Nebraska lost the game on Friday. You don't lose 40-16 because of one player. You're not going to make up 24 points because of one player when 21 other guys are on the field.
Yeah, there were no sacks in that game, which was alarming. But like you mentioned, you saw a program that was sure of who they are and where they wanted to go. And you saw one in Nebraska that's still wandering in the wilderness, if you would. The late James Baldwin, Nick, he's one of my favorite writers, poets, laureates, humanitarians, been dead and gone a long time ago. And he said this years ago. And he mentioned how he criticized America because he loves her so much. I'm going to say this I'm going to ad lib. I love Nebraska football more than any other team. Is exactly for this reason I insist on the right to criticize it perpetually. Sure. And like you said, JB, that when I felt like my toe is stubbed, but I can't even make a noise because I'm just so infuriated.
Yeah.
When you love something, it hurts. And Nick, here's the thing too, I want to say it to you. It's not wrong that you criticize something you care about.
Oh, no, you should.
When people would say, well, you're not a fan if you no, that's blind foolishness when you just agree. you just walk lockstep and key with whatever you see on the field. No, you have a right to criticize. You have a right to have feelings. You have a right to be pissed off. And like I always say, Nick, when you're no longer pissed, when you don't even longer when you don't even longer have a silent yell, well, they lost again, big deal. Then you have a problem. I'm going to criticize Nebraska because I love it. I love Nebraska football. I love Husker athletics. So therefore, I get pissed off. I get infuriated when I don't see them performing at the level that they're capable of performing with all the resources around. Now, does that mean you have to upgrade some things? Yes. What that means, I don't know. I'm not the head coach. For me to go in there and say this needs to happen, I don't know. But it's glaring that things obviously need to happen.
Well, and here's the thing is the reason I said at the start of this of why it felt like it's so much more than just these last two games. These last two games just put it on blast. Like, we talked about red zone issues. We talked about the inability to score in the red zone. That was something that we discussed after the Houston Christian game, right? And now, like, this is the concerning part, I think, for a lot of people, and why I'm not so quick to jump on the progress happen train. I'm just not. And if they go out and win the bowl game, then great. Yeah, like this. Do not get that twisted with the idea that I'm not cheering for Nebraska, because that's not the case. I want Nebraska to do well. It makes our job so much more enjoyable when Nebraska's winning. When Nebraska was 5-0 this year, or 5-1 this year, our jobs had never been better in the 5 years that I've been here. Never been better. However, I'm not quick to jump on the progress train just yet, because while, yes, Nebraska had one more win than in 2025 or 2024, a lot of the same issues that Nebraska got away with in August against subpar competition were the reason you lost games 40-16 to Iowa. It's the reason you got run out of State College. It's the reason why you are not able to have success in November time and time again. That is why also, and it all works in sync for me, more money at a place like Nebraska in a conference like the Big Ten does not automatically equal better results. I think first and foremost, that the coaching has to be paramount. You have to have good coaches on your staff. And Nebraska, it is what it is, but the truth being, they've had a lot of changes, top to bottom, support staff, coordinators, position coaches, over the first just 3 regular seasons in Matt Rule's time here. That's just the honest truth. We could go all the way up and down the list of coaches that either Matt's hired that has not necessarily panned out because of off-field stuff, or they followed a coordinator that got somewhat pushed out, followed him to Florida State, or now who you've replaced those guys with. You just talked about it with the athletic directors in our first segment, AD, where they have a Rolodex of just, hey, this is who I know I can lean on. This is who I know I can bring in. And yeah, Dana Holgerson has been an upgrade over Marcus Satterfield. And through that, Phil Snow was somebody that they felt like they needed to bring in last year to talk to the defense. But now those are now the guys that you've tasked, and the play has gone down. The defense is worse this year than it was last year. And I get that you don't have your 2 big horses in the middle. But once again, there's 11 guys out in the field on one time for your squad. And it's really, really frustrating to at least, we cannot move the goalposts. When, yes, at the beginning of the year, we were sitting here going, yeah, you know what? 8 wins, that'd be good. Yeah, we like 8 wins. Sure. But I also like beating a really bad Minnesota team on the road on a Friday night. I also really enjoy not getting blown out and embarrassed on national TV on Black Friday. That is one thing that I would say. And so I'm not so quick to jump on the progress train just yet.
No, and I'm going to repeat what I said to start off. I mean, was there progress? Well, there was, in my opinion, it's minuscule progress, and it's not even my opinion. It's just objectively, each year, the past 3 years, you've won one more game and you've lost one less. That's the facts. Those are the numbers. You've won one more game and you've lost one less.
Yes.
And so, I mean, so if you want to say progress, yeah, there's progress. If you want to say overall culture and stability, Yes, that is progress. And that is a big one. I don't want to overlook that either and let the 7-5 overshadow it. But at the end of the day, Nick, you are based off your record. The late Denny Green always says they are what they thought they were. Your record is who you are. Nebraska's a 7-5 team. And I think it was either Coach Bush or Sip that said this morning. Nationally, if you're outside of Nebraska looking at this, there's nothing jumping off the paper at you about Nebraska.
Gosh, no.
Especially with the last view that people had just on Friday. And there was many, including some of our own listeners, that turned the TV off. Yeah. They didn't want to watch it anymore. So, and that's just the reality. And again, it's not throwing shade at anybody. It's just the reality. If I got a 7-5 record speaking, 7 go well and 5 are terrible, or 5 are not or graded well, that's not a good record. I'm not 100%. Getting hired very often to come speak. So every time I look at, I'm bringing it to my own world, and every time I look at my my ratings, that means a lot to me. And you know who else look at the ratings? Other meeting planners.
Yeah,
they're not bringing in somebody that's only that's getting 2+ more than the people that don't like you. So it's they're bringing in a product. They're paying for a product. They want to see a result. Our fans have religiously packed that place out.
Yeah.
In cold, in heat. They did the blackout, a game that you were talking about a few days ago. I think it was Foreman on one of the post-game shows. Nebraska fans have done their part. That's not that's not even debatable.
Yeah, 100%.
Not even debatable. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Nebraska, in my opinion, is the only fan base that would do what we've done. Yeah. In light of the records that we've been given.
And maybe I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say maybe there is some truth to the just, hey, this is what we have and we got to work with it. Like, and I understand that. I think you take that though with a grain of salt at times, because a lot of these coaches are put in their roles to get better. Jay always talks about it. Jay talks about it endlessly about, hey, we got to get it's chapter by chapter, game by game. You got to get better from game 1 to game 2, game 2 to game 5, game 5 to game 12. Like, and there's things that you can look at. And sure, was Nebraska's defense going into this season, specifically their rush defense, was that going to be something that could get better dramatically to where it would jump from 70th in the country to top 5? No. But I don't think Nebraska needed that jump. They just needed steady improvement. And that's something that I think we haven't seen is when we just look at this year. Is Nebraska's program in a better place since Matt Rule took over holistically? I would say so. You're going to back-to-back bowls. Pat yourself on the back. You're doing what the top half of teams in college football are able to do. Sure. But have we seen the steady progression? If Nebraska played Tennessee this year, instead of Houston Christian like they were initially supposed to, do we see them get to a bowl game this year? And now that's all being facetious and out of line because that's not what actually happened. But once again, the progress piece of it, because everybody loves to throw around that word, did the rush defense get better from game 1 to game 12? No. Did the red zone offense get better game 1 to game 12? No. Did the guys stepping up to just go make plays, did the tackling get better to get from game 1 to game 12? I wouldn't say so. Now, notice that a lot of these things that I just mentioned are in addition to they aren't affected, AD, by your starting quarterback going out. They aren't only, also being realistic, they aren't only affected because of the coaches. It's guys that you have in that room as well. It's players. Can the players go make a play? Now it all works in sync and in works together with talent acquisition. Mm-hmm. I told Jay on Friday, and Jay agreed with it. We talked about it extensively on Friday night. This isn't an issue because of what Nebraska did August through November. This is a December of 23, January of 2024, February of 20, or excuse me, December of 24, January of 25, February of 25. Mm-hmm. Talent acquisition in the portal. Who do you go out and get? Who do you bring back? Who do you let go? Who do you bring in from the high school ranks? Who do you bring in from JUCO? Identifying talent back then allows you to win games in the 20-degree weather.
Totally agree.
And so that is why, sure, simply from a wins and losses standpoint, Nebraska has shown progress. But the red zone offense, somebody asked on the text line, what was it? Nebraska had 51 drives in the red zone this year. Mm-hmm. 28 of them resulted in touchdowns, good for 54%. 15 of them resulted in field goals. 8 went empty. 8 drives in the red zone went empty. Now, just to give you an idea of where some of the top teams are in the country, a team you just played on Friday, the Iowa Hawkeyes, rank 8th in the country in red zone offense. They've had 46 drives, 33 touchdowns, 10 field goals, 43 of 46. The biggest issue on Friday was Nebraska having to settle for field goals instead of touchdowns. You look at the drive charts and the stat broadcast that they use, AD, has it really, really well laid out, where it goes drive by drive for each team. And you just see it where it goes, it's touchdown, field goal, field goal, field goal for Nebraska, field goal, touchdown, 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 touchdown for Iowa. And in those, that was the difference. When you got down in that area, Iowa punched it in. And when Nebraska got down in that area, they stopped handing it to their all Big Ten running back.
Nick, 77-26 is the margin in the past 2 games. You were outscored by 51 points by your last 2 opponents, 77-26. And that shows you a myriad of issues. To what you just said, your inability to score and your inability to stop the run. Because both of those games, they just ran the ball down our throat. Yeah. We knew exactly what was coming.
And those were the same issues against Akron and Houston Christian and Cincinnati. This isn't something that just popped up at the start of November against USC and you're like, oh man, we need to just try to put a Band-Aid and limp to the end of the season. No, this is something that over the last 14 weeks, including the 2 bye weeks, this is something that has been going on. This is something that you've been, paying attention to and been aware of. And then it's like, you come up, I still have issue with that, with the comment to this moment of you get up on the podium as after the head coach is like, yeah, look, our rush D, and this is one thing I do applaud Matt Rule of, is very transparent, very honest and open. And he gets up there and Matt Rule on Monday ahead of Penn State's like, look, our rush defense is bad. Our run defense is not very good. We need to be able to stop the run. Like showing that he's aware of it. But then your coordinator steps up on the podium one day later and is just like, yeah, I think, it's low-hanging fruit to talk about the run game. And he's like, I think it's low-hanging fruit. Our pass defense is one of the best in the country. We don't allow explosive plays. You allowed 77 points in 2 weeks in less than favorable weather conditions. That is not something that just shows up in 2 weeks.
That has been an Achilles heel. Nick, you look at all 5 of those losses. USC, Minnesota, even hurts me to say Minnesota, Iowa, Michigan, Penn State. They were all run the ball down your throat. USC was probably the most mixed match game as far as, running and throwing the ball as far as that goes. But the other 4, they just ran the ball down your throat and dared you to stop it. And so, like you mentioned, that wasn't just something that just popped up the past 2 weeks. That has been an Achilles. Now, and granted, we knew going into the season that was going to be a spot because of the youth, et cetera. But I think it goes to also one of the texters brought something. I apologize for not seeing it here. I mean, I do see it. It was Anthony. Good morning, Anthony. You guys remember Rule's interview at the start of his tenure, mentioning the versatility of the 3-3-5 and how it helps you overcome years where you may be down on the line. So you rely on your backers and back in and vice versa. He goes, that aged well.
Well,
aged horribly.
It's not even the. It's
there were
not
a lot
even,
of times they were in 4 and 5 man fronts.
Yeah,
and they still couldn't stop it.
And at some point, then it's like Jay was very, very honest on Friday, and I appreciated this from Foreman because he was like, "Look, man, at some point, Nebraska, there'd be times where he talked about there'd be 5 guys.
5.
It is you just have to beat your one guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're talking about just one.
It was mano a mano.
Just win a matchup, and that's where it's not all on the coaching. Some of it is on the guys that suited up for Nebraska and played. But once again, DP always says, is it coached or is it allowed? Right? Like in those types of things, I know better than to sit up here behind this microphone and question Hart and be like, oh, these guys aren't playing hard enough. I'm not going to do that because I think that they're fine. It's just a matter of what are they being asked to do? Are they being instructed? Are they being instructed correctly in practice? Are these things that can be fixed game 1 to game 12? And the answer to the last question, I think, is a resounding yes. There's a lot of teams that make significant progress from game 1 to game 12. And it feels like Nebraska hasn't been that, at least in terms of the results. We want to talk about results so much. Sure, the win. Yes, the win is massive. Nebraska goes out and loses their bowl game matchup. 7-6, right? Like, okay, cool. If that's what you're striving for in year 3 and year 4s, that's just not where I'm at. It's just not where I'm at. No. And I don't think any Husker fan needs to apologize for expecting more. When then, you get up on the podium and you're like, well, look, you need more resources. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of other places in the country that are going to be playing meaningful bowl games and playoff games that have less than what Nebraska has. Everybody's got the rev sharing amounts.
Absolutely. Going to read a lot of these texts when we come back, folks. Going to take a quick break, read a quick 2 numbers, but also get through your texts. Want to hear your opinions. And again, the way me and Nick like to roll it, man, look, you have a right to your opinion. I'm not saying the opinion is wrong. If you just bring out numbers that aren't true, that's debate. That's not debatable. That's just wrong. But you have a right to feel what you feel and not be criticized to feel what you feel.
And I think it's important to note that all the stuff that we're talking about, it's separate, and it doesn't even include like the schedule.
Right.
Like it doesn't even include, we haven't even talked about the schedule and the opportunities that were there. Yeah. Because all of this, it doesn't control what you can control. Mm-hmm. You can't control the schedule. The same way Nebraska couldn't control who they played this year, they can't control who they play next year. We all know that next year is going to be significantly more difficult than this year. But all the stuff we're saying, I think it's important to have these conversations without the outside stuff, without all the other stuff that you can't control. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of Nebraska's issues, as we saw on Friday and we saw last Saturday or 2 Saturdays ago now, and even going back to the last drive of the Cincinnati game back in August at Arrowhead. Those are all things Nebraska can control. Right. It's people you put in the building. It's guys that you have suit up. It's guys that you ask to do certain things within the game. Those are all within your control. That's what's alarming.
Yeah.
Sure, if you want to bring the schedule conversation into this, we can. But that stuff is out of your control.
It's out of your control.
And everybody's got to deal with it.
Yep. Folks, we'll be right back. Discuss some more Nebraska, Iowa. Read some of your texts. It's The Drive.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get 1 half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Here at Midwest Bank, we want to thank all the generous donors who helped us make our 2025 turkey dinner for schools a success. Thanks to the generosity, we raised enough money to provide 191 families across 6 different schools in Lincoln with a full Thanksgiving meal. With your support, we've made Thanksgiving Day for these families a little brighter. We want to wish everyone a healthy and happy Thanksgiving. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com. Schwizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schwizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schwizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, we are back. Feel your text messages on here. I'm going to try to get as many of these as I possibly can. There's a lot of them. Bones, what's up, man? Bones. Friday was the first time this year, and probably for quite a few years, me and my son actually turned the game off in the fourth quarter and turned into the Eagles game because we were just fed up with not particularly losing. But just the way we have lost these games, especially the ones towards the end of this year, is ridiculous. Unknown texter 8356. I had 2 tickets to the Iowa game and stayed home as I knew we were going to lose. Turned the TV off.
Now, granted, it was freezing.
Yes.
I wouldn't have gone unless, we were sitting inside. So I can attest.
It's sad how bad we still are to go. I go to Mark Banker's comments years ago where he said, Iowa practices must be a bloodbath. We have learned nothing in 20 years. Dogman, what's up, brother? We've got to get some bulldozers on the line, and the Camaros can't run with space.
Can I be honest,
without
though?
Space.
Can I be honest? Nebraska's issues aren't the offensive line. That's going to be such an unpopular opinion. I just Emmett Johnson doesn't have an all Big Ten type of year. We don't talk about Emmett Johnson without two things. Emmett being the dude that he is. Okay, let me first and foremost, Emmett is a dude. But we don't talk about Nebraska and their ability to run the ball so well without that offensive line. Like we can talk a lot about the sacks, and yeah, Minnesota was atrocious. But this is an offensive line that in the last, since that Minnesota game, and I get it, right? Like I'm taking little, pieces of it. This is an offensive line that wasn't the reason you lost 40-16. Like that's what I'm getting at is you look at this game and you look at these two games, Penn State and Iowa, because those are the ones that are fresh on Husker fans' minds. You didn't lose the game because you had a backup quarterback. You didn't lose the game in the fashion you did because the offensive line was bad or allowing sacks. You didn't lose the game because strictly inability to punch the ball in the end zone when you're in the red zone. You lost the game from a mentality, toughness, grind it out, show up ready to play type of approach. And you didn't have that. I never understand AD, and you can talk about this way more than I can because you went through it. I never, ever understand, and I will never be able to wrap my mind around it because we've never gotten a good explanation of why Nebraska can't get up and play a football game. Like, it doesn't matter about the time of kickoff. It doesn't matter about the weather. You get 12 of these, man.
Yeah.
You get 12. And just from a sheer competitor standpoint, I will never, and this isn't just Nebraska, this is across the board, on how collectively, as a unit, coaches who get paid millions and millions of dollars and have psychologists on staff and have doctors and mental health coaches and all of this on staff, all the very necessary resources. Why you can't get a group of 18 to 24-year-olds ready to play a football game?
So I'm gonna read some more text, and I stand with you on that. It is mind-boggling to me, and Rule mentioned this is on me, and it is on him, man. When you're the CEO of an organization, whether it be in athletics or everything else, your stock performance or lack thereof, it rests on you. Jay Culligan said Rule is starting to look like a paper tiger to me. He has every right to feel that way. Unknown texter 8726. Need bigger guys on defense line to play a 3-4 nickel. Trey really need an 80 attitude adjustment after Friday. Yes. And you know what I did, Trey, after the game Friday? Man, I started being grateful for the things that I have that are in my control.
I went over to Big Ten Sports Bar. Shout out to our friends.
Starkey says, I like Rule, but the one thing that has bothered me is Rule coach. Shout out the free shout out too, right?
Yeah. Not a free shout out because they're with us.
They're with us.
No, they had the sidetrack band playing on Friday night after the game, and that was really enjoyable. So I understand how that might have come across. I went to the bar. That's not what.
And then a quick note: the women took care of business on Friday. Shout out to the women. 30-0
Once
season.
Again.
They play Friday the 5th at home. So we'll just talk about that too. Fifth. Always sitting back to Starkey. Always saying the price to win the win one score game, the close games. Whatever happened to the coaching they going on out there, line up and kick their tails. Nebraska used to have that mentality, and we will tell you to play and still kick the crap out of you. There's no killer instincts. As long as Nebraska can keep it close and win that one score game, it's just having a goal of being mediocre. You think the volleyball team has that thinking? The other programs, nope. They want to kick the crap out of every other team and dominate. Again, I really like Rule, but I just don't see that mentality, that whole Nebraska nice BS thinking. Have a great day. You know what, Starkey? Hey, bro, you're entitled for that frustration.
100%.
Husker fans, you're entitled to your frustration because the reality is this, man, we're not seeing the results on the field, what's being said. And that's just the reality. And you know what? These coaches, they know they're going to be held to that. They know that, when you take this position, especially at Nebraska or any P5 school, you have to have thick skin, be ready for the scrutiny, because if the product does not match the podium, there's a problem.
And AD, like we plead for Husker fans, have higher expectations for this.
Yes.
Have higher It's okay. You don't need to apologize or be like, well, I would really like this, but I understand that this is realistic. Like, no. Expectations can be realistic if you want it bad enough.
Mm-hmm.
But the minute that you start accepting all of this and you start to really dissect and be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to choose to ignore A, B, and C and just look at D and say, okay, yeah, you know what? If we're looking at solely D, that's progress.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to, but hey, Nick, what about A, B, and C? No, don't worry about that. No, like expect more. It doesn't make you a bad fan. It doesn't make you less of a fan. In all honesty, it probably makes you a little bit more of a fan.
Yep. It's like I said, I like the frustration because that means people are still care. And like I said, and like for myself, like I said, for me, man, I just got this silent yell with the toe stubbing that took place. And it wasn't a toe, it was a toe stomp and then run over. And
I'm missing a couple of toes.
Yeah. It was a de-toeing, if you would.
And to throw everything, just to throw a little bit more fuel on the fire here, AD, I don't want to say wasted. Wasted, it seems like a very extreme word. This all happened in a year to where you had Emmett Johnson perform the best of any Husker running back since 2014. I am going to say wasted. You wasted an all Big Ten and potential All-American type of year from your running back to go 7-5 against, sure, you want to bring in the schedule now, against a very gettable schedule.
Yeah, man.
You just ran, I don't have the specific number. Emmett Johnson had 239 of the 300 total yards on Friday. Nebraska as a program has been clamoring for Emmett Johnson and a running back in Nebraska to have that type of output.
Nick, I'm going to go to
80%.
Yeah.
It was 80% of the yards that Nebraska generated on Friday were because of Emmett Johnson against Iowa, who we view as this big, bad rush defense. You're not going to get anything against them, so you better maximize the most, maximize every little piece you get. Hey, you ran for 19 yards, 217 yards, I believe, because he had 22 yards receiving, 217 yards on Friday. It wasn't enough to win by less than 24 points.
Nick, I'm going to say something real quick before they're going to break. Thomas and Lincoln says Nebraska isn't built for the Big Ten football-wise. We ain't getting the right players for them. Looks like we're still recruiting for the Pac-12 or conference that isn't as physical as the Big Ten. I'm going to say this, Thomas Lincoln. I'm going to match it up what Nick V said. The toughness is absent. And there's no denying that, man. I'm just going to say it again. The toughness has been absent. When you get outscored by 51 points in your last two games, and you got a guy as special. It was a gift. It was a treat to Husker fans to watch Emmett, but also somewhat of a tragedy to see the lack of results overall record-wise, man.
But hey, don't worry. They don't give up explosive plays.
Yeah, I'd have to.
I don't know. I don't know. Like we can be really petty about all that stuff too. But I don't try to be.
Yeah. Money G in Kansas. What team is in worse shape, Huskers or Steelers? Oh, Money G.
Well, let's talk about it.
Oh, tomorrow we will. I have no answers, Money G.
It's time to go to break.
We'll be back.
Here at Midwest Bank, we want to thank all the generous donors who helped us make our 2025 turkey dinner for schools a success. Thanks to the generosity, we raised enough money to provide 191 families across 6 different schools in Lincoln with a full Thanksgiving meal. With your support, we've made Thanksgiving Day for these families a little brighter. We want to wish everyone a healthy and happy Thanksgiving. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
It's basketball season, and Salt Mine City is your pregame and postgame headquarters in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Get ready for the game with their big, fatty 7-ounce hamburger, or try a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, your basketball headquarters, now open at 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: a chance of snow this morning and probably sunny skies this afternoon. We'll see a high around 24. Tonight, decreasing cloud cover and calm winds, a low around 7. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with a light breeze, afternoon high near 34. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion. If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer. Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, Lane Kiffin's wild.
Folks, we got a lot to share all week long because of the amount of movements and quotes and statements that are going on. It's just mind-blowing, Nick. It's mind-blowing, brother. There's a lot going on. Swim? What you thinking over there?
Here's the deal. Now, I certainly 1,000% do not agree or fall in line with some of the stuff that Lane's done off the field. But it is absolute cinema.
His Twitter game is hard
to watch. Well, did you see he posted something this morning on his Twitter? He's like, hold on, I can find it real quick because it's popped up on my timeline.
Now he's just.
Well, here's the best. Oh, 100%. 100%. He posted this thing. His comment or his caption was, "Exhale. Let's have the best Monday ever." And it was, it's a quote from a book that it's like, let the seams unravel and reform your entire life for the way you really intend it for it to be. When you are forced to let go, you are also asked to exhale. What does not hold is not meant to. If you are not certain, wait. Time reveals all truth, all knowing, all reality that will come to be. It will all become clear.
Seems like he's quoting some Deepak Chopra.
That's what he posted today, and his caption was, "Exhale. Let's have the best Monday ever."
Well, I can only imagine the comments.
Hey, here's the deal with Lane. Let me take the commercial banner off. Sorry about that. Here's the deal with Lane. His contract details have come to light. AD, $91 million over 7 years makes him $13 million a year. Incredible bonuses, 80% buyout if he's fired without cause.
But tell him the main one right here.
So he said it in the interview yesterday, and it was pretty interesting to hear this. He said it in the interview with Marty Smith. He was like, "Yeah, I'm really cheering for Ole Miss. Like, I really want Ole Miss to do well in the playoffs." Now we
know why.
And he's like, I want them to go win a national championship. Well, yeah, because LSU is paying for all the bonuses that Ole Miss would have paid him if Ole Miss wins a national title, even though he's not coaching. He has a chance. Lane Kiffin has a chance to make up to $1 million in bonuses paid by LSU for not coaching Ole Miss in the playoff if Ole Miss wins a national championship. He's going to be sitting on his couch. Well, not really. He's probably going to be sitting somewhere cheering as hard as anybody for Ole Miss to win a national title, because he'll make $1 million for not coaching from LSU. LSU is going to pay Lane Kiffin for Ole Miss's success in this playoff if they end up winning a national title. It is so funny to see. There's a lot of stuff coming out of LSU in terms of money right now. Before we get to the attitude adjustment, but right now LSU is paying Ed Orgeron, Brian Kelly, and Lane Kiffin. They are paying 3 coaches.
Gosh.
However, Ed Orgeron is set to earn his last buyout payment, his last time final buyout
right there, Nick.
Final buyout payment on December 15th, with 426,000 buckaroos hitting that bank account on December 15th.
Right in my bank account.
Right in the bank account.
That last one, it's been a good ride, though.
It has 426 grand, the final buyout payment of Ed Orgeron. So then LSU will only be paying Brian Kelly and Lane Kiffin. But once again, just some incredible numbers being thrown out of Baton Rouge this morning.
Yeah, you know, I'm a crawfish. You can get with $456,000. A lot of crawfish right there. A lot of crawfish right there. $456,000 right there, boy.
Ooh.
The attitude adjustment today is become a coach and get pissed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money.
You know, Eric says these things incredibly disrespectful over the text line. Eric says on the text line,
I didn't see it.
"Can the ticket pay Nick not to go on air?" That's what Eric says. It hurts my feelings because here's the deal. Every now and then, Eric sends in a nice text. I think we're becoming friends, and then he comes after this, and here he is. And because I know Eric doesn't mean it.
Folks, today is December 1st, 30 and a half days left. Actually 31, but technically it's getting closer to noon, so. But it's roundup, yeah. Inertia is your advantage. Inertia, the most underrated force in your life right now. Folks, I had to battle it myself this morning because a body in motion stays in what, Nick? Motion. A person with an attitude of action finishes stronger than they started. Folks, I had a tough one last night. Didn't sleep the best. Got some major neck issues going on. And, Nick, I have the whispers that were coming in my head. Hey, D, just stay home today. Don't go work out. Don't go stretch. I had to have a conversation back because I had to get the body in motion. There's a time to listen to your body when you hurt or are you injured or are you just a little fatigued. I was not injured, a little fatigued, but we've got a few weeks left in the year. This is not the time to coast. This is time to create momentum that rolls into 2026, folks, like a freight train. So every action you take this month, every workout, every call, every discipline choice, every hour focus isn't just about December. It's about who you're becoming already for January coming up. Most people slow down this time of year. Holiday season hits, comfort hits, excuses hit. My folks, to be a champion, stay on the runway. Move with intentionality. Choose over action, over apathy. Stack small wins every single day. And you'll greet January 1st already ahead. Whew. Let's roll with it, man. Inertia. Let's hope Nebraska football can get some inertia going on in this postseason because Lord knows we need it. We'll discuss a lot more of that when we come in. It's been The Drive, folks. We'll wrap with you tomorrow.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you can bring a friend anytime and so much more when you join today. You heard that right. Conquer the stair climber with your partner in climb. Enjoy a post-workout recovery session in the hydro massage and do it all again with access to any of our 2,700 plus convenient locations. So, you coming? Get all the perks with a PF Black Card for $1 down and $24.99 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, December 5th. See Club for details.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also